All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Life in Eastern Sierra, coming at you on a beautiful Sunday evening here just outside Mammoth Lakes, California. As you see, we got some different types of clouds rolling in, passing by. It's beautiful. Just got done a dog walk, and we figured we'd give a quick review of our 2023 Ram 2500 Cummins Turbo Diesel Laramie Edition. I'll put the specs up here on the screen because I'll probably screw them up if I do them from memory, which my memory is shot per usual. But at any rate, let's give you a quick tour of this beautiful truck. We got a black edition Pearl coat, I think it's called. Regardless, we got lucky where our previous truck cap fit and matched on from our 2018 that we traded in and moved up to this one. Went with the Laramie edition because basically I couldn't find anything I needed or needed out here, especially in the wintertime, like cold weather package in the Bighorn edition. And our last truck had the extended cab. This one doesn't. And really, I guess Dodge's Ram are phasing out the extended cab versions moving forward, which is kind of disappointing because having kids, dogs, tools, all that stuff, the little foot of extra space made a huge difference. But we're getting by with this one, so it is what it is. We're making the best of it, and it helps cut down on the junk. But at any rate, moving on here, a couple features that we'll start off in the back of the truck. A couple features that I didn't have on the previous truck that I absolutely love is the tailgate assist here. Hit the key fob twice and the tailgate pops down, automatic, lovely. Never knew I needed something like that, but it comes in handy. Sorry to mess this back. Yeah, truck is a mess. Hi, Ren. Say hi to the people. What do you think? You just got done your run, and now we're gonna do a video and then go home and have dinner. What do you think? You're not amused? All right, I'll shut the gate. So obviously this doesn't work when the window is closed, but regardless, features I didn't know I needed, and I use it like every day now, which is great. Keeping with the back, we have your standard tailgate camera right in there. I don't know if you can see it. A lot better camera, gives a little more wide view, especially hooking up a trailer, much easier than the previous edition. I have LED lights. Not too crazy about the style and the look of these, but whatever, it is what it is, they work. You have one of these cool foot assist to get up in the bed and on the, putting anything on a roof rack. Another change, at least for me, is the tires. These runs on LT 275 70 R18s. My previous truck, I want to say, ran the same tires, 18-inch. I could swap out the 18-inch and 20-inch tires, but what's different on these, and I'm not a tire guy, maybe somebody knows out there, or I guess I could just Google it, find out myself, but these tires, both front and back on this edition, are set for 60 PSI. My 2018 Ram 1 Cummins were different. The TPS sensors were set for 80 in the back, 65 in the front. Now, if you ever driven in ice and snow or even on sand, you know that 80 PSI is just ridiculous because you will not get any traction. So I'd always have to drop the tire pressure down to 70, maybe even down to 65 when we had big snowstorms. So long story short, I was constantly filling them up, letting air out, filling up, letting air out. Towing, you have to fill them up. So that was really pain in the butt, and my lights were always on for the TPS monitors, and I tried to keep them at 80 or as close to it as possible because I did read on the internet. Now, not sure if it's true, it's the internet, but it does make sense. Whereas if you were to get into a serious accident, like God forbid somebody died or whatever, your insurance could supposedly void your policy if you didn't have your tires inflated to the proper pounds, So that was always a thing in the back of my mind, God forbid, but I always would have to keep them within so the sensors wouldn't constantly go off. And it's also annoying seeing that little sensor button displayed on your dash all the time. But at any rate, I don't know the difference, but these are 60s so far. I love them. Obviously, I don't love the tires. These tires that they put on this truck, these Transforce, are complete garbage. So these are now going to be the summer tires, and then we'll upgrade to a more aggressive tread pattern for the wintertime. So that'll be a different video for a different time. All right, keeping with the exterior here, this has the smart unlock, which is great, something I never knew I needed, but I always have my keys in my pocket. I'm always fumbling them, always trying to find them. I got a kid in one hand, a kid in the other hand, tools, whatever. But that is a huge feature that I never had before, and I don't know how I lived without it. So awesome, love that feature. What else? Oh, the tow mirrors. for this 2023 edition, we've got rid of the oval ones and we've gone with square ones, which are great. They power extend, power fold. They have heated, both glasses are heated. A little light and camera system on here. So far, I love them. They look great. They look 10 times better. But I'm not sure, once again, I have to look this up, see if anybody knows anything. But I want to say the older style, when you flip them out in the moose mode, as everybody calls them, I want to say I had better vision pulling my toy hauler than these. I want to say these don't extend as far as the other ones. It could be wrong, could just be me, could just be trying to get used to it. I've only towed once, my toy hauler once with these new tow mirrors, but regardless, love them. Definitely huge upgrade. What else? Upgrade. Another thing that was on this truck that I didn't know I needed is the rain sensing windshield wipers. Game changer on that one for me. When you're driving out here on the highway, you're running into squalls, rain, sleet, snow, you know, behind a semi truck, you know, kids in the back yelling, everybody's too much noise. You know, the fact that I don't have to take my hands off the wheel for the windshield wipers to work is amazing. Love that feature. I think it should be standard on every vehicle in the country if it's not already. Once again, it's something I never had before and I absolutely love it. All right, moving forward here, we have LED front headlights and fog lights. Awesome, they look great. They illuminate driving all the time. Same thing, automatic, everything on them, including high beams. Beautiful lights, I love them. I'm sure if they were to go out, they're gonna be a pain to fix. You know, you don't have to pop the lights out anymore because they're LEDs, no more halogen bulbs. But I'm sure once these lights go out, they're probably super expensive and a pain to fix. What else? They seem to add more parking sensors all over the place, which is good and bad. Kind of annoying when you're driving on a little dirt road and it's going off for a little sagebrush, but at least you can turn them off and on from inside. Tow hook standard. What else on this baby here? You have your new kind of decal design. Not really big of a fan on. I do kind of like this one here, but I don't like it's 1, 2, 3. It's kind of annoying to me. So that's just personal preference. Still looks good. Something that's not going to be worth changing. I can get over it. What else? Boop, boop, boop. I think that's it for the exterior. I don't think I missed anything. Let's take a look at the engine. Okay, quick edit. I forgot one more thing on the exterior and the body. They got rid of the fender flare brush guard protectors. So that's pretty disappointing. And something I'm probably gonna have to add because that is some sensitive metal there. So we'll have to come up with something or get an aftermarket product to put on that. Like I said, it's pretty disappointing that they got rid of that because you're always getting dings, always parking lot, all that stuff. Those little fender flare protectors do a pretty good job. All right, on with the video. Okay, here's that beautiful 6.7 liter turbo Cummins diesel engine here. Engine bay looks beautiful still. I don't think they changed too much from the 2018. They did relocate the inlet for the air intake. Before it used to be down through the wheel well, kind of, and now it's in the front through the grill. Regardless, once it gets approved, we're gonna, for California, we're gonna upgrade this air box. Probably gonna go with the Banks Ram air intake deal, whatever they call it, big air. I forget what they call it, but regardless, people are back and forth whether those air intake works. I definitely put them on all my vehicles, trucks, because we're at 7, 8, 9,000, 10,000 feet even out here, and I definitely notice a difference between performance and fuel economy. So for me, they seem to work out here. What else? They added these bars that I have no idea what they're for, probably just aesthetic. They did seem to move these batteries to the front of the, well, to the cab more, because this is right up against the reservoir for the coolant. And why I know that is because on my 2018, I had to replace this coolant reservoir pretty early into owning it, and I didn't have to remove the battery. So if this goes this time, I'll have to remove the battery and do all that fun stuff. So that's not going to be good, but hopefully I don't have to ever deal with that. What else here? Moving over, we have, seems to have definitely more space. You know, if I had to change the belt or anything, you can get in there. God forbid you have to work on anything. You don't have to do anything with the EGR anymore, except if you're deleting it. So it gives you more space to do all that. Standard fuel filter is right, that guy right in there, the front one. That looks pretty standard as before. We'll find that out once we do our first fuel filter change here. Other than that, that's it for the front. It doesn't have a light, which is kind of shocking. My other Bighorn edition had a light under here, which would be pretty useful. So I don't know why they took that away. It doesn't make any sense. Some of the things these car companies do are baffling. And stuff that used to be standard on other ones don't. Others are upgrades. It's just insane what they do, and especially what they charge for these vehicles now. So, all right, moving on. Let's take a look at under the truck for the fuel filter location for that. Okay, so we're under the truck, and it looks like the rear fuel filter is completely different from my last 2018 one. This is the fuel filter for back here. It's actually got a chuck on it there, a nut, whatever you want to call it, to easily, you can use the same tool, same socket, I would hope, to take off this as the front one. So this looks completely different. There's a different type of bleeder valve over here to bleed the fuel, but once again, unfortunately, they design these things where it just goes right over the drive shaft here. So yeah, that'll be interesting. That looks like completely different. So that means my old fuel filters that I have left over from my 2018 truck won't fit these. So that's interesting. And they also moved the fuel filter sensor up top instead of down below. So that's another interesting one. That I would think that means I don't have to disconnect it, because that was a big pain in the butt trying to disconnect that little thing without damaging it on the 2018, the last generation ones. So this one looks like it could possibly be easier, God willing, because front one's super easy and the back one was always kind of difficult because you have to get up there, you have to wrench it. There wasn't much room. It looks like it kind of gave you a little more room back here. Yeah, so we'll find that out. So far, I think I like that. I'm interested to see. I got to check out the fuel filter design for the back one, but it's definitely different than the previous one, it looks like. So cool. Awesome. All right. Okay, we're keeping with the engine components real quick after that rear fuel filter location. The other thing I did notice here is it looks like they did give us a little more space. That's our fuel filter. Looks like there's more space in here to grab it, to work on it before the pain. There's still probably a big area to drop it down. But they also appeared to move the turbo up further. You can't see because of this plastic here, but the turbo is, let's see if you can see it in there somewhere. I can't really see it. But regardless, before the turbo was down further into the behind the strut or the spring and all that, so you couldn't get that one bolt on the turbo actuator without using a special tool. It was a big pain in the butt. It looks like, I could be wrong, it looks like they raised it. See, there's the turbo right there. Before it used to be way down, so it looks like they raised it up so you can easily work on it. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I hope I never have to find out, but that was something that I noticed going through all this. All right, let's go take a look at the interior. All right, in the back here, of course, everything's a mess. I got some tools in here, got the kids' car seats, all that fun stuff. But with this edition, they have the fake wood panel there, and then they added this suede in here, and it's also in parts of the seats as well. I was not a fan of it when I was looking at the truck, but it seems the only thing in the truck that doesn't collect dirt and dust. So I'm kind of a huge fan of that. Leather seats in the back. They are not heated or cooled. The front ones are heated or cooled. You have this kind of upgraded console area in the back, cup holders. You have actual vents that move, that are big, that people can get air in the back. You have your standard outlet plug there, USB ports. What else in here? We've got cup holders down here, cup holders in here, cup holders everywhere. This one does have the sunroof, moonroof feature on it, which makes you lose headroom. So I'm 5'9", 5'10" on a good day. If I was 6 foot, it would be really cramped head space back here. So that's something, if you're a tall person or having tall people in the truck, that might be an issue for you. I have 2 small kids and I'm never in the back seat, so not an issue for me. Plenty of leg room still. What else? In lieu of the extra space in the back, they give you these little cubbies underneath, which is cool, but they didn't put drain plugs in them, so you can't put ice or anything like that in. I mean, you can, you just have to drill a simple hole, but I'm not really interested in drilling holes in my truck. All right, let's take a look at the front. Okay, here in the front, we'll start with this door. You have your memory seating for different drivers on here. You have this control area for the mirrors, tow mirrors out, your heat. These are lights, features. Honestly, I don't even remember what some of these are for. You can move different things inside, outside. You can move the little tow mirror. You can move the big mirror. So that's all cool. I never had that. Window locking, all that fun stuff. So that's good. Typical, your normal power seating. Leather seats, heated and cooled. You have to have the heated seats out here and steering wheel for sure. Didn't know I was missing out on life with the cold seats, the vented air conditioned seats, whatever you want to call it. But that's been a huge upgrade. Never knew we needed it. Love it. Absolutely that feature. All right. And then what else? We got the power pedal area, whatever you want to call that button. You have all your light systems, your dimmers, your auto stuff. Huge. Let's get in here. Center console is kind of a must. You know, I don't like that third seat with there. Like, this baby's awesome. You can get in here. You got space in here for stuff. Opens up. You got space in the bottom. Assuming this tray slides up and down, give you more space. What I don't like here is they give you a little phone holder here, but it's not big enough for the iPhone, so you can't really use it. And I would assume that this would have been wireless charging, but they don't. It doesn't have it. So that must be on a higher trim level. So that's kind of like a wasted deal here. Somebody didn't really think too far ahead of that, because my phone doesn't fit in there. So kind of annoying, but is what it is. We got the beautiful touchscreen large edition. I want to say it's 12 inches, maybe more, maybe less. I'll have to find out the actual number on that. You have your tow haul mode, your diesel, gas, or turbo brake, parking sensors, a bunch of auxiliary buttons if you want to add features to it. Your tow brake. Over here is your four-wheel drive capabilities. Another thing I don't like about this is they put the traction control button up here, where it should be either over here or over here. So when you're switching to four-wheel drive, you want to take your anti-slip off, because you want all your four wheels to move simultaneously together to get the most grip. So that's kind of annoying. I don't know why they did that. That's going to be a real pain in the butt for me come this winter when dealing in our first round of snow with this truck. I'm going to always be searching for it, and I'm going to always forget it's up there, and it's going to drive me nuts. But that's a personal thing. Like I said, I don't know why they did it. Doesn't make any sense. Keeping with the towing, you got your gear limits here. That's helpful for if you want to lock out a 6th gear, lock in the 5th when you're towing something heavy. That works. We have another cool feature here that is new for me, is a little 12-volt plug here. So when I have my camera system for my toy hauler, I stick it in here. As you can see, the little spots on the window, and plug it right in. That's awesome. That works. We have our garage openers, our tailgate, our windows, our moonroof, everything's automatic as well. So that's cool. One touch. Oh, looks like it's starting to rain here a little bit. Your standard glove box deals here, top, bottom. What else? Let's start her up and see here. So beautiful screen once it's lit up. You got all your features. It is kind of finicky though. Sometimes it acts weird. It will switch its display automatically from the Sirius XM to, you know, CarPlay to vehicle apps. It does some weird things every once in a while. So that's kind of annoying. I'm hoping the gremlins work themselves out on that. And same thing, sometimes it'll hook up to my phone right away. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll tell me I have a phone call. Sometimes it doesn't. I've even had it just send people right to voicemail. So that's kind of annoying. Like I said, hopefully it kind of works itself out here as we keep going. But this thing, I'm still trying to figure out all the features on this. This is amazing. You have your navigation built in here. You know, CarPlay. What else? We got all your comfort, all that stuff, push button, heating seats, rear, all that good stuff. Other stuff it has on it, it has an app. See, once again, I hit that button and it took me to home, so it didn't even work. So sometimes it's weird. One thing I don't really like on it, I mean, it's cool. It's got an off-road feature on here, which I don't know who takes these trucks like off-road. You know, I'm not talking about dirt roads like this, but like up mountains and all this stuff. It's not built for that. But it's cool. It's got a feature that says off-road on it. I would like to see it being strictly towing. Gives you all your pitch and roll, transfer case, altitude, all that stuff. It's got accessory gauges here, which is all cool. Now, to get to the towing feature, you have to go back to, you have to go to apps. I guess you can organize these however you want them. And then where's towing? Trailer towing. So on here, it gives you all the info, and it gives you a light check so you can check all your brake and turn signals and all that. This is really cool, really helpful. It saves me from buying another plug and play device to keep watching my coolant levels and everything like that. But what is missing on here, which I would love to see, is your EGR sensor and turbo on here, so you can monitor the EGR temps when towing, the turbo temps when towing, you know, when it's cool enough down to turn it off. So that's kind of a shame they don't have that, but I'd also like to see this on the home page instead of digging around trying to find it. Another cool feature that's on most trucks nowadays, not all of them, is it automatically saves your different trailers. So if I plug into my toy hauler, once I set those up, it automatically saves and holds it and recognizes it. Same thing with my dump trailer or utility trailer. It's got everything on there. So that's a cool feature. But this is really helpful when towing. You can keep an eye on easily on your temps and whatnot instead of looking at them on the small gauges here. You know, that's big time for towing out here when we're towing at 10,000 feet and up big grades and all that. So that's cool. Other than that, that's a great feature. Love it. Absolutely game changer and very helpful and very cool. What else? I think that's kind of it on this truck. Your accessory gauges, you can scroll through everything, you know, vehicle information, tire, PSIs, off-road. See, once again, it gives you the off-road thing. I guess that's pretty cool. Pitch and roll and all that fun stuff, but it's kind of something that, I don't know, most people don't need. You would kind of think that'd be more towards the Raptor, like Ford does, or the equivalent to Dodge's form of the Raptor. I'm totally blanking on it. I'll come up with it probably as soon as I end this video. But you guys know what I'm talking about. What else? Fuel economy, all that. Trip info, trailer info, all that fun stuff. It's got pretty much everything on it. It's got a bunch of information. I'll probably still end up buying the Banks system on here so I can just monitor that turbo pressure and temps and all that, which is kind of why, because I'm gun shy from my turbo blowing up on my 2018 at only 80,000 miles, so I kind of want to keep all that. What else? I forgot the power sunroof, moonroof. I never had that before. We'll see how that works this winter. Kind of nervous about that, but so far this summer has been great having this thing open. Power everything, moonroof, venting, helps out big time out here. So that's really cool. Never had that before in the vehicle. Awesome. And something also too that I don't like on this is the sound system. You know, I think it's a Bose sound system. It's got speakers inside of speakers, but I think it's pretty poor quality. I don't know. It doesn't sound good to me at all. They also have everything. I put this, they have it kind of, I'll get into that in a second, sorry. They have the speaker here, which I got to cut out the hole a little better. And it points to the windshield. So you kind of get this bounce off, which I think, same thing with this, you know, it needs to be kind of the opposite. It needs to be kind of tilted, pointing towards us. I don't know, it just doesn't sound good in my opinion. I'm really disappointed in it. And I don't really care. I'm not really listening to music that often. I'm not in a truck long enough. And when I am, I'm an old guy now where I'm starting to listen to talk radio and sports talk radio. You know, my kids are gonna love when they get older, gonna call me old. But gone are the days of blaring music and driving around. The other thing I do not like about this is that I had to buy this dash cover for this. First of all, it covers up this beautiful leather dashboard, but the reason I had to buy it is because there is a really bad glare from the sun all the time, to the point that you can barely see out the windshield driving around. I don't know how anybody hasn't complained about this before. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't, but it was too dangerous driving this truck around, even in the city, out here in the country, just anywhere I drove, just during the day, you just couldn't see out the windshield because everything was reflecting off it. It was pretty ridiculous. So I ended up buying this cover for it, which definitely took away the glare from it. So that's that on that. What else? I think that's it. I'm sure I left something out, you know, standard airbags, all that fun stuff. Yeah, regardless, definitely love this truck. I'm a Ram guy. I've had Rams and I've had Fords too over the years, but this is the longest I've been a Ram brand guy. So my last 3 trucks were Ram, technically 4. I've had Ford work trucks in between. But yeah, hopefully this truck holds up better than my 2018. Drives like a champ. It's got the it's got the other transmission at the 68 RF transmission, which everybody hates on 6 gear. So far, I love it. It definitely seems to be an upgrade from my 2018 one, which had the same transmission on it. If I put this in the drive, this transmission grabs and wants to go. Like, startles me half the time, because it definitely pulls for sure, and it did a great job towing. It didn't fight. If you saw one of my previous videos towing a toy hauler, unlike my 2018, it didn't fight looking for gear hunting, and let the turbo exhaust brake do its job, which was great, because driving my 2018 one was definitely frustrating with that one grabbing the gears, searching, and not letting the turbo do its job. What I don't like about this so far, the turbo lag is pretty significant. It definitely improved once I got a big tow in, but I'm definitely not a fan of the turbo lag. If you lived in a city and had to jump into traffic, very dangerous. I'm not happy about that at all, but it is getting better. Maybe it's in my brain, but I swear I've noticed a big difference after my big first tow with this truck. But once that turbo kicks in after, a second or 1.5 second, whatever the lag is, this thing spools up and flies. This truck is fun to drive. It's quick, takes off like a rocket once that turbo spools up. But that's something that I don't know if other people have experienced, but I'm hoping that also goes away once I add the turbo exhaust, or not turbo exhaust, sorry, the new air intake in this, the cold air intake. Hopefully that will help rectify the problem. But other than that, it's a great truck. Love it. Highly recommend it. Yeah, and more to come. We'll do some more videos once we do our first fuel filter change and oil change. Find out if anything's different on that. Like I said, seeing that rear fuel filter definitely seems to be different, which hopefully that's for the better, because there was nothing worse than changing that rear fuel filter on my 2018. All right, time to take the dog home, get some dinner, and on to the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe, and we'll be back with more content. Have a good night.